Have you heard? It's truck news.
Nope.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck. 'Cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel, electricity, and on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's the Truck Show with your host, Holman.
That's right. Welcome back to another edition of Have You Heard? Truck News. The Truck Show podcast is proudly brought to you in partnership with AMSOIL, the maker of the best synthetics and the same ones we use in our rigs. Did you know AMSOIL is more than synthetic oil? They also make some of the finest lubricants, greases, additives, filters, car care products, and yes, even merch. We use AMSOIL products to protect our rigs, and you can do the same by heading to amsoil.com. Do you need a knife? Then head on over to kershaw.kaiusa.com and explore Kershaw's line of exceptional pocket knives. They have a huge selection of quality knives from EDCs to knives made in America and even automatics. Score one for yourself today. And if you want to treat yourself to the latest in adventure, gear, and upgrades for your vehicle, go to ovrmag.com and use the code @TruckShowPodcast for a discount on print or a 1-year digital subscription for free. The Truck Show Podcast survives off of sponsorships and your reviews. Please help me to keep it free by supporting our sponsors and leaving reviews and comments on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Have you heard? That one lingers for a while. All right, AV has some huge news. For the first time, they are doing full-on Ford factory builds, and they just introduced the AEV FXL. So if you're familiar with the AEV lineup, you know the Prospector XL, PXL, built off the Ram for 40s. Well, they're doing that to the new Ford Super Duty. And it's a brand new line of parts and accessories that'll deliver the same adventure-ready capability and the OEM level of engineering and refinement that AEV brings to the table to the Ford platform. And by the way, I don't know if you saw the photos. We will put them for this episode and then up on our social. But man, I think it's one of the best-looking Super Duties I've ever seen. Maybe it's that Tonka truck, like proportions thing that's working out there, but it's got the stamped steel front bumper that's very much an AEV vibe. High clearance rear bumper. It's got the nodular iron recovery hooks on the back. High mark fender flares, of course, for putting those big tires on there. A 4-inch dual sport XP suspension with the AEV tuned Bilstein shocks. 18-inch Katmai dual sport wheels. By the way, the wheels are gorgeous. It's one of the best looking wheels that I think I've seen in a long time. They look so good. 40-inch BF Goodrich HD Terrain KT tires. FXL graphics package, and of course AEV branding and serialized build plaque and all the things that come when you have AEV build a vehicle for you. It's making the debut at the 2026 North American International Auto Show in Detroit, and it's the first foray into the Ford section. So beginning in Q2 of 26, you'll be able to buy the components individually, or you can get through the global AEV dealer network, and then order banks for getting them built from the factory like my Wrangler was, or like you can get a PXL. They open in Q2 of 2026, so coming up pretty quick. You can find out more information on the AEV website, aev-conversions.com. So you've seen them for Chevys, you've seen them for Rams, and now you got them for Fords. Pretty rad. Can't wait to start seeing them out on the trail and out on the street. So you guys know that the Hemi made it back to the Ram 1500, and you also know that the TRX made it back. So what's next for the Ram brand? Well, La Scuttlebutt Online says the Sport Truck is coming back. So our friends over at The Drive got a interview with Tim Kuniskis, CEO, and he basically said, quote unquote, "You're not getting a single cab Sport Truck 6.4. He says it's a YouTube thing. Everybody's like, give me the 6.4, and he loves it, but it's not based in reality. His quote to The Drive was, used to be back in the day, all the journalists would say, you should build a station wagon with a manual transmission. And he'd be like, come on, man, for you? Yeah, for you and the 6 other friends that want to buy it. The new thing is now everybody, everywhere I go, when are you going to do a regular cab Sport Truck? Do you know what the market is for regular cab Sport Truck? It's just tiny little sliver. It's like the wagon with the manual everybody used to ask for. Now they're asking for the manual single cab truck. And of course, they want it with the manual transmission in a 6.4. Anyway, Kuniskis goes on to say, where do you put it? It's a positioning issue. So Kuniskis continued, do you want old school technology? You want the instantaneous torque, no turbo lag, and the great sound? Or do you want the high-tech, fuel economy, efficiency, amazing torque? So anyway, if you guys are hanging out waiting for there to be a regular cab sport truck, that's not coming. Obviously, that configuration doesn't exist on the DT platform, which is the current 1500 platform, but I'm pretty sure there's a big honkin' supercharged TRX-derived engine under the hood. Would be my guess. I don't know, but a sport truck is coming. It's going to be badass, I think. So stay tuned. All right, for those of you looking for electrified adventure, the 2026 Jeep Recon specs and pricing have finally been announced. It'll be starting at $66,995, and check this out. It comes with 33s, 650 horsepower, 620 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds with the sport mode, and should be a lot of fun. Wheelbase is 112.9 inches, so it's a little bit shorter than a Grand Cherokee, and it's 5.5 inches shorter than a Wrangler Unlimited. Overall length is about the same as the Grand Cherokee, and it's a little bit longer by about 5 inches than the four-door Wrangler. Ground clearance, 9.1 inches, but the Moab trim, as I said, will have 33-inch all-terrain tires. Max range estimate is 250 miles. It has a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack. So there's the info if you've been waiting for that. Some of the really kind of cool features, including a 5-mode system for different weather and surfaces, and you also get a 6th mode for rocks if you get Moab, and there is a locking differential, but the front diff is open. The Recon is, think of it as like a hardtop Wrangler or 4Runner around that size and everything. The doors come off, the rear quarter windows come off, so you can still get that open air feeling, and it's got a giant, massive sunroof as well. I love the interior on it. If you've ever wheeled a 4xe Wrangler, you'll know that they wheel awesome. The electric mode is actually really great on the trail, so I'm excited to see how the Recon does. There'll be a story in it in the OVR issue that's hitting right now with all of the information on it. But without the $7,500 tax credit, I wonder how many people are looking for an electrified, daily driven Jeep, although this looks like a good one, or are you just going to go out and buy more 392s? Also a good option. Rumor has it that even though it is EV from the start, that they are working on doing a ICE version of the Recon as well. So lots more to come on that, but thought it was definitely worth talking about. And one more for you midsize truck guys. So Ram has officially confirmed that their upcoming new midsize truck, which by all indications and comments leaking out of Auburn Hills, is that it is going to be really good. Ram's going in to have a very competitive vehicle. It's not going to be the same vehicle that they have overseas, but the U.S. is going to get a familiar name, and it is going to be called Dakota. So stand by. Ram Dakota coming to a dealership near you, I believe in 27. So we'll find out more about that toward the end of this year. And the midsize market is really heating up right now. Everybody has new vehicles. It was a dead segment, 15 years ago, and now it's one of the hottest segments in automotive. Everybody's jumping in, and I think there's no surprise. You'll hear from some other manufacturers jumping into the space real soon. And for you Ford guys out there, we talked about in a previous news episode that the supplier who did the aluminum for Ford had a massive fire, and it led to the pause of the Lightning. Now the Lightning's been canceled. Well, Ford is diverting resources because they want to build 50,000 more F-Series and Super Duties in 2026, and they're looking to hire 1,000 more employees to make it possible. And so essentially Ford is hoping to make up for the loss of production from that fire at the aluminum plant. It's coming back online now, and 2026 will be more production as they fight to keep their sales crown, and they'll be doing it without the Lightning, but with more trucks that everybody's buying, and that's gas-powered and hybrid F-150s and gas and diesel-powered Super Duties. So Ford moved about 460,000 F-Series, almost 461,000, so it's about a 5% decrease, and it's even lower than some of the midsize SUV class, and Ford really wants to get the F-Series back up over 500,000 for 2026, so don't be surprised if Ford makes a big push, more production, better pricing, and more availability at your local dealer. So if you're in the market for an F-Series, this might be your year. And we have one last V8 update for you coming from Dodge and Jeep itself. As you know, the SRT Hellcat was not available in California or the states associated with it. Well, the SRT Hellcat Durango is now 50 state legal, available in all 50 states. And just as of a week or two ago, the new Moab 392, also 50 state legal. So now you can get back to buying those V8 powered SUVs, at your local dealership in California and the states that follow California's laws. Glad I got mine when I did, and I didn't have to wait, but if you're in the market now, you don't have to wait any longer either. And as a side note, Durango was going to be all V8 for 2026, and they've since taken a step back on that one, and you will be able to get a Durango V6 as the base model. All right, and we will end this news episode with some recall news.
Check engine light just went on. Noise under the hood takes like a bomb. Recall covers metal, glass, leather, and plastic. Door handle pulled off in my hand. Just fantastic.
I still love that jingle. This has nothing to do with the door handle, but this recall goes to Ram, and they are recalling 72,000 trucks for basically an instrument cluster display that goes blank due to a software glitch. And so if you own a 25 or 26 Ram truck, this recall reportedly affects 72,509 trucks, and this includes about 45,000 Ram 1500s, 20,000 Ram 2500s, almost 9,000 Ram 3500s, and a handful of chassis cabs, 3,500, 4,500, and 5,500. And those are all vehicles built up to July 19th, 2025. And these are all early examples of the Ram 12-inch instrument panel cluster. So this is the one that's in front of the driver that replaces your gauges, not the 12 or 14-inch Uconnect screen that goes blank, but actually the one that gives the driver all the information. And they have since stopped using the digital clusters that were giving issues, and they have a superseded part now. Owners will be notified through mailers going out between January 8th and January 23rd. Dealer technicians are going to reprogram the instrument cluster with an update that'll stop it from going blank, and if that fails, they'll replace the cluster with a new unit, of course, free of charge. You can VIN search your truck right now using the NHTSA recall website, and the recall is 25V-826, and Mopar also has a recall page. Their recall number is B4C/B8C, and it just depends on your model. So if you're a Ram customer, you'll definitely want to pay attention to that and see if your truck qualifies for a software update or a new instrument cluster. And that'll do it for this episode of Have You Heard? Don't forget to follow us on social at Truck Show Podcast. Shoot us an email, truckshowpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, I want to thank AMSOIL, AMSOIL.com, Kershaw Knives, Kershaw.kaiusa.com, and OVR Magazine, OVRmag.com. And you can leave us a voicemail. We want to hear from you, 657-205-6105. Don't forget to leave us a review, and we'll look forward to doing this again soon.
The Truck Show Podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis, hosted by Sean Holman, and uses production elements by DJ Omar Khan and Jay Tillis. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and leave us a 5-star review. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to support the show than by sharing it and patronizing our sponsors. Some vehicles may have been harmed during the making of this podcast.